Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the latest update on Tropical Storm Beryl. So, Tropical Storm Beryl is slowly inching closer to the Texas coastline, and as of the 7 a.m. update this morning, Tropical Storm Beryl has maximum sustained winds of 60 miles per hour, is moving to the northwest, and has a minimum central pressure of 992 millibars. Hurricane Beryl is slowly reorganizing after being heavily impacted by wind shear and dry air yesterday, and Beryl is likely going to steadily strengthen over the next 24 hours before its landfall early tomorrow morning. Taking a look at the cone for Beryl, we're looking at a 70 mile per hour tropical storm with 85 mile per hour gusts moving to the north-northwest as we go into 1 p.m. this afternoon Central Time. And then Beryl is expected to approach landfall around 1 a.m. tomorrow morning as an 85 mile per hour Category 1 hurricane with gusts up to 105 miles per hour. The movement will likely still be to the north-northwest. And now we're looking at a landfall between Port Lavaca and Bay City in south central to southeastern Texas. I would say around 2 to 4 a.m. early tomorrow morning. Taking a look at the cone going inland, looking at a 50 mile per hour tropical storm with 65 mile per hour gusts moving to the north-northeast between College Station and the Woodlands as we go into 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. However, the storm could be as far west as just east of Austin. It could be as far east as Houston, as the cone still has about a 150 mile width from west to east. So if you live anywhere in this cone, make sure you're really paying close attention to Hurricane Beryl over the next 12 to 24 hours, I would say. And then as we go into 1 a.m. on Wednesday morning, looking at a Tuesday morning, a 35 mile per hour tropical depression near Tyler or Longview, Texas, with 45 mile per hour gusts moving to the northeast. And then the remnants of Beryl are going to move into western Arkansas as we go into 1 p.m. Tuesday afternoon as a 30 mile per hour remnant low, a 40 mile per hour gusts potentially near Hot Springs and to the west of Little Rock. The remnants of Beryl will move into southern Missouri as we go into 1 a.m. on Wednesday as a 25 mile per hour tropical depression with 35 mile per hour gusts moving to the northeast. And then as we go into 1 a.m. on Thursday, Tropical Depression Beryl, or the remnants, will move across northwestern Indiana potentially. 25 mile per hour winds, 35 mile per hour gusts moving to the northeast as of 1 a.m. Thursday. And then going into 1 a.m. Friday, we could see the remnants of Beryl move all the way up towards northeastern Michigan, still with 25 mile per hour winds and 35 mile per hour gusts Friday morning. So looking at a lot of inland impacts from Beryl. Taking a look at the key messages for Tropical Storm Beryl, there is a danger of life-threatening storm surge inundation late tonight and Monday along the coast of Texas from the north entrance to the Padre Island National Seashore to High Island, including Corpus Christi Bay, Matagorda Bay, and Galveston Bay. Residents in those areas should follow any advice given by local officials and follow evacuation orders. Beryl is forecast to bring damaging hurricane-force winds to portions of the Texas coast late tonight and Monday. A hurricane warning is now in effect from Baffin Bay through San Luis Pass. Preparations should be rushed to completion before tropical storm conditions begin late today. Flash and urban flooding, some of which may be locally considerable, is expected across portions of the middle and upper Texas Gulf Coast and eastern Texas today through Monday night. River flooding is also expected. Rip currents will cause life-threatening beach conditions through Monday across much of the Gulf Coast. Beachgoers should heed warning flags and the advice of lifeguards and local officials before venturing into the water. So, hurricane warnings now up for a lot of the Texas coastline for Hurricane Beryl. Make sure you're making your last-minute hurricane preparations if you live in the hurricane warning areas. And speaking of which, we do have our hurricane warnings between Baffin Bay and San Luis Pass in the red, just south of Galveston Bay. Tropical storm warnings from just south of Brownsville to just south of Corpus. Hurricane watches in pretty much the same areas, as well as around Galveston Bay. We have a tropical storm warning and a hurricane watch for this area. and then a tropical storm watch, or tropical storm warning rather, in the blue, and tropical storm watch extending all the way to Port Arthur and the Louisiana border. So taking a look at our latest rainfall forecast for Tropical Storm Beryl, Tropical Storm Beryl is going to produce a lot of rainfall across eastern Texas, where Beryl makes landfall in southeast Texas. We could be seeing as much as 6 to 12 inches of rain, including areas around Matagorda Bay, west of Galveston Bay, including Houston. Could be seeing as much as 6 to 12 inches of rain, resulting in some pretty serious flooding. As we go up towards much of central east to northeast Texas into southwestern Arkansas, we're looking at a good 4 to 8 inches of rain, so flooding will still likely be a problem in areas like Tyler through Texarkana, Longview, potentially Corsicana, Huntsville, Texas, Bryan College Station, and then up through much of Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, western Indiana, far east Texas, southwest Louisiana. 2 to 4 inches of rain are likely to fall in the dark green areas. And then we're looking at 1 to 2 inches of rain, potentially as far west as Austin, Waco, Dallas, Fort Worth, western Louisiana, through much of Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, far western Tennessee, Kentucky, potentially in the light green area from Beryl. So a lot of inland flooding is possible from Tropical Storm Beryl as it moves across the Midwest and the Ozarks. And taking a look at our latest excessive flooding rainfall outlook, a moderate risk of flooding is been issued by the Weather Prediction Center for far eastern Texas, including Houston through Tyler in the red. A large slight risk of flooding across East Texas, West Louisiana, western Arkansas, southeast Missouri, southern Illinois in the yellow, and unrelated to Beryl across much of Kansas, Oklahoma, and northwest Texas, and a marginal risk of flooding covering much of the south, the Midwest, and the Central Plains. And taking a look at our latest peak storm surge forecasts, we now have an area that could see 4 to 6 feet of storm surge between Matagorda Bay, Mesquite Bay, through San Luis Pass, as Beryl is expected to become stronger. And then we have 3 to 5 feet of storm surge between north entrance of Padre Island through Mesquite Bay and Corpus Christi Bay. We have 3 to 5 feet of storm surge between San Luis Pass and High Island, 2 to 4 feet of storm surge between High Island and Sabine Pass, 1 to 3 feet of storm surge between Sabine Pass, Texas, and Cameron, Louisiana, and then 2 to 4 feet of storm surge between the mouth of the Rio Grande River and north entrance to Padre Island. So storm surge is going to be a major issue, especially between Matagorda Bay and Galveston Bay. So I'm going to have one last update on Beryl this evening. There is a small possibility that Beryl could rapidly intensify before landfall, as upper air conditions are going to be favorable for rapid intensification for the last 12 hours before Beryl makes landfall. Thanks for watching this morning's update on Beryl. Please make your last-minute preparations across South, Central, and Southeast Texas, and have a wonderful day, my friends.